என்னடா யோசிக்கிற? There is nothing to think so much மச்சான். தைரியமா போ. ட்ரஸ்டபிள்ரா. 3 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி என்ன பார்த்துருக்கல, இப்போ நான் பார்க்குறல்ல. How confident I am because I have taken a right decision. நான் கொடுத்த அட்ரஸ் போய் விசிட் பண்ணு. You will have a personal care from them.
எல்லா பேஷண்ட்ஸுக்கும் பர்சனல் கேர் தராங்க. 30 years of proven medical records. All eye care treatment under one roof. அதான் ஆர்கே ஐ சென்டரோட ஸ்பெஷாலிட்டி.
My dear children of God, it's my pleasure to be with you all once again to share how to lead a life, a meaningful life for the Lord. For the past few weeks, I have been sharing on the secular side of my life, how God intervened in my life and how He guided me into diversifying into various activities in my private sector job, and how I could learn on cash flow and ability to book into new areas and things like that, and also shared about my managing director's demise and how I could as a general manager handle both finance as well as technical and grow up the company. I joined this private sector company in the year 1980, and by the year 1985, by God's grace, I could get promoted from assistant manager level to general manager level within five years. And in 8th year, in 1988, my managing director passed away, and I started learning a lot more on cash flow management and technical. And as I was sharing, my wife was working for Shankara Nethralaya as a senior consultant. And once when I reached general manager position, and after my MD's demise, I was booking more and more orders. When I joined in the year 1980, our company was making around 20 lakhs annual turnover. Of course, values were high even for that. But as I was entering into 1988, 89 and all, we were booking more and more orders. So somewhere around 1990, I was reaching around 3 to 4 crores annual turnover, a big in those days. I'm talking about more than 3 decades back. Then I thought I may not be able to grow more than general manager level, because that's the maximum a staff can reach in any private sector. So I thought I should get into an activity of my own. I should become an entrepreneur. So I went and told my chairman, very nice person, I said, I have a plan of leaving this company and starting a company of my own, especially because there was no specific field that I was specializing in. Whatever job people were giving me, I could convert that into a potential job and earning money. So God taught me that lesson, and also I didn't have a big infrastructure. I was offloading design, I was offloading fabrication, I was offloading erection. So with minimum staff I was managing, and having learned cash flow of how to collect the money from the client and pay to my contractors, even with very little money, I could execute a lot of projects, thanks be to my management, who insisted that I should not depend much on their bank facilities and their own funds. Having learnt all these things, I thought it's high time that I should be on my own. So when I told these things to my chairman, he was a very nice gentleman, V. Krishna Swami. He said, Narendranath, you have potential. If you can give employment to several souls, that would be a noble act. Whenever you feel like leaving, you are most welcome. my blessings will be onto you. Only thing, serve your 3 months notice, and if any critical job is there at that time, ensure that it is completed or it is made possible for smooth execution, and then leave. I am still thankful to him for such a broad-minded approach. Even whether I would have had such an approach, I don't know. Whenever anybody says I am going to become your competitor, we get irritated, we get angry, but not so with that gentleman, no noble soul. Then immediately I thought the first step I should do is I should ask my wife, who was working as a senior consultant at Narendranath, to quit a job and start practice, private practice, so that if one person stabilizes in the business, if the income is made comfortable, later on I could get into my own business. So I thought both of us should not go enter into the business at the same time. So my suggestion was that she first resigns her job and gets into private practice. But she was not very keen, because at Shankara as a senior consultant, she was presenting a lot of papers and performing a lot of surgeries, and she felt it may not be a wise move to resign and get into private practice, entrepreneurship and things like that. But somehow I said, as I reached a saturation point, even she will reach a saturation point beyond that which she cannot grow. As I was thinking about this, she joined Shankara in the year 1982 when we got married, but in late 80s there were some changes happening at Shankara. They were making super specialization departments, and my wife was asked to take up the department of uveitis and be the head of the department. They asked my wife, what is that? Will it have surgery? She said, no, it's a medical treatment, may not have surgeries. Then I was not very happy. I said, if you don't have touch with surgery, tomorrow you cannot get back to surgery. And she said, no, we are all being made into compartmentalization and concentrate only on that, so that each one of us will become world famous specialists in that particular field. Fine, it makes sense, but somehow I was not very comfortable with that type of an idea, because outside you cannot survive. You can be a great surgeon inside Shankara, but once when you come out and be on your own, it will be very difficult to survive without surgery. This I came to know through my own experience also. My classmate who studied with me at BTech, he joined Larsen and Toubro's when I joined government and later on came into this private sector at a middle level. I used to envy him. I used to say, you are working for a very big company, Larsen and Toubro, L&T. It will be a dream job for anybody to get landed up. But he only opened my eyes. He said, Narendranath, it is not like what you think. You are more fortunate than I am. That's what he said. I couldn't believe my eyes, ears. He said, yes. In L&T, he was a chemical engineer like me. He said he was in the marketing department. In marketing department, he said, see, I am compartmentalized. I have been in this department. All I can do, or I should do, or expected to do, is go and get book business in marketing. But I will be told how much percentage of discount I can give for booking this order. Beyond that, if there is a scenario, or if I have to book the order, if I have to change the design, I can't do anything. I have to refer back to the management. Management will put it back to design department. Design department people will not know the marketing, they will be into the design, and the estimation department will not know much on the design. So all are compartmentalized. So I have to come back, report, this is what is happening, then it will be reworked and I will have to go back. Whereas in your case, that is in my case, because you have been trained in design, estimation, marketing, erection, testing, commissioning, you are taking decisions on the table. You are in a position to see everything like a bird's eye view. You are able to achieve, and your knowledge is vast. You can become an entrepreneur because you have been trained in all these areas, whereas I can't. That opened my eyes. Till then, I was under the impression I was not fortunate enough to get into MNCs. Then that was the time I realized how God is grooming me up into getting all sorts of specialization which can make me an entrepreneur later. So same logic I applied into my wife's situation also. What happens if she becomes into a super specialization? Only that she can do. She can't do cataract operations, other things with which only one can survive in the private sector. So I suggested you better leave, and later on another situation came where they were sending specialists abroad for getting trained, but with some sort of a commitment which I didn't want my wife to get stuck to. So we started going around, I started going around looking for places where she can practice, went to several places for OP, outpatient, but many people didn't open their doors for us to go and practice there. Then I took up a 2-bedroom flat as a for outpatient. I took 1.5 lakhs loan from TIC, Tamil Nadu Industrial Investment Corporation, because we had to buy a lot of equipment without which you cannot start eye practice. And at T Nagar, we could establish a clinic with 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. That is how we started, because children were very small. First son was studying 5th standard, second son was studying 4th standard, and I was touring a lot. Reluctantly, my wife was agreeing for my suggestion of leaving her secured job to this, I must say, because of my pressure or my persuading her. Then came the problem of surgery, where to do surgery, because getting a theatre was a problem. I must thank Dr. Ananthakrishnan of Ganga Nursing Home. In those days it was there. He opened his theatre and said, come and do the surgery early morning by 5 o'clock before I start taking up general surgeries, because eye is a critical item. That's how we started. In the year 1989, RK Eye Center, my wife's name was Rajanikanta, and she was called as Dr. RK, so we named it as RK Eye Center. We started at a 2-bedroom flat. Today, by the grace of God, we could have a hospital, RK Eye Center at T Nagar. Praise be to God. He guides us and grooms us. And how I entered into business, I will share it in the weeks to come. Thank you.
Appointment வாங்கிட்டல?
வாங்கிட்டேன்க்கா.
Hey, why are you getting nervous? Last month பிரியா குட்டியோட அங்க தான் விசிட் பண்ணேனா. எக்கனாமிக்கல்டா. இன்சூரன்ஸ் கூட claim பண்ணிக்கலாம். Premature babiesல இருந்து old age people வரைக்கும் விசிட் பண்ற ஒரு இடம்.
எல்லா பேஷண்ட்ஸுக்கும் பர்சனல் கேர் தராங்க. 30 years of proven medical records. RK Eye Center T நகர்ல இருக்கிறதுனால accessible to all places.
Youngsters, you guys must take the right decision at the right time with the right people.